You guys can see the walnut meat in there. Looks awesome. So we're gonna be making a penne pasta vegan style. It's gonna be lovely. I have some very fresh organic tomatoes, if you guys can see those, looking beautiful. And then we have some chopped walnuts, which is gonna be our meat replacer. Guys, this is Aldi's brand. These are not organic. I wish they were. I couldn't find organic peppers, but these are some sweet peppers. And you can use the bigger ones. We have an onion back here, guys. This is half of an onion. I'm just using their generic brand, the tomato, basil, and garlic. That's all. I have a little bit of honey that's gonna help cut the acidity and the tomatoes, and we have some garlic. You guys can see I have a pot on the stove, and into the pot I'm just gonna throw a little bit of Celtic salt, y'all, just to add just to taste. Just a little bit for the noodles. These pots were my mother pots, very old pots, so love them. Still haven't got a new pot set, and I don't think I will. Pasta going in. My peppers, my onion, half of an onion, and we have 4 cloves of garlic. Tomatoes. I'm just gonna take the stem off of these. We'll blend this in parts. And I'm hoping that it all blends just fine. This is going to make a nice pasta sauce. Now I'm going to blend out all of these. You're going to take a little bit of your pasta sauce. If you have a food processor, that'd be good too. So I rinsed out this bowl that the tomatoes were in. And this is how we're going to make our sauce. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's going to make a lovely tomato sauce. Do you smell it? Oh, that smells so good. You really smell the peppers and the onions. And so, oh, try not to get it to pour out. Anyways, very quick and easy, guys. Very quick and easy. Pasta sauce. And you can actually use this as another sauce. I will be using this as the sauce. I will not be using any more. So now we have our pasta sauce. These are ready. These are ready to come out, guys. We're going to keep a little bit of this pasta water. Here we are. And we're going to throw in about maybe 2.5 cups. Depending on your liking. I will go about 1.5 cups of walnuts. So there my walnuts are. They're now in the pot. And I'm going to go right behind it with just a few spoons of some organic coconut oil. Now, if you guys have coconut milk, you can add in a little bit of coconut milk, but here is just to get the walnuts very nice, very softened before we go in. Alright, to our walnuts, we're going to add a little bit of salt, just a pinch of salt in there. I want to reiterate on just a little because I'm really big on natural flavors. I feel like we have the onions in there. You don't want to overpower the natural onions with onion powder. Like, I'm just really selective on what I choose to season and how I choose to season my food. So I will go in heavy on the black pepper though. You want to cook your walnuts for about 15 to 20 minutes. Just let them get tender. right? And you can always add in water. I would really prefer if you have coconut milk, just add it in by the, just little by little. You really don't want to add too much in. But before you add in your sauce, you want this kind of to be all the water to be cooked out. But you want them to be nice and tender. I'm actually going to go ahead and add in to this. Now, we're going to let this cook down. I would say about a tablespoon of honey. Now you also don't need the canned. You also can make your own from tomatoes, and you know I use the can because it helps break down a little bit more. But I've made it where I'm sure I've made it where I've just used tomatoes, and that's another video. We can do that together too. So I'm gonna let this cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. You guys could let it cook for however long you want to. My desired taste would be about 15 to 20 minutes. I want all the flavors, all the raw vegetables to really cook down, really soak down. And funny thing is, chickpea noodles don't really stick together. If you notice, guys, this went straight from the water to the container, and they're not sticking together at all. Chickpea noodles, they rarely stick together, so you don't really have to like cool these down. As you can see, like they're moving completely freely. You don't have to cool these down with cold water. You really don't, unless you want to stop the cooking process. If you don't want them to overcook, you can take them out a few minutes earlier, or you can just cook them to your liking and just kind of do what I did. They don't really cook as they steam. As long as they're out of the water, they're gonna stop cooking. So finishing touches, guys, just added some parsley and give it a nice little stir around. Let's see what's going on here. Alright guys, and here is the finishing touches to your vegan penne pasta. You guys can see the walnut meat in there.